This is lesson 8.4c. Use data from a table or a graph to determine the rate of change or slope. So we're just going to focus on slope today. And our slope formula is that we subtract the y's and we put that over the x's subtracted. And I'll show you what I mean. So let's take a look at our first table. Tables always go x and then y, just like ordered pairs. And it says that we're going to have our y values on top. We need to subtract our y values. So I'm going to take these two y values and I'm going to subtract them. 22 minus 42. And then I'm going to subtract my x values, and that goes on bottom. 1 minus 2. The biggest thing is just to make sure that you're going the same direction both times, meaning if I did 22 minus 42, then I need to do 1 minus 2. And let's go ahead and use our calculator for this. I'm using online calculator. So we're gonna go 22 minus 42. And I get negative 20. So when I subtract my y's, I get negative 20. Now I'm going to do 1 minus 2. I'm actually going to mental math that. The signs are different, so I take away, and I had more negatives, so negative 1. Okay. Now right now I see a negative 20 over negative 1. That's just, we need to simplify that. Mainly we need to divide our y by x. So just like with our constant rate of change, in proportional graphs, we divide y by x. And slope is always going to be positive, negative based on the integer rules. Meaning, if I take negative 20 and I divide it by negative 1, a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So my slope is positive 20. M equals 20. Okay, let's take a look at another one. Again, I'm going to put my y's over my x's. So I need to have 4 minus 1. And I'm going to do 3 minus 2. We don't need our calculators for this one. So 4 minus 1 would be 3. 3 minus 2 would be 1. So our rate is 3. All right, hopefully, I think with the graphs I have some negatives to show you. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at a graph. So a graph, we have still data points. They're just on a graph, not on a table. But I'm gonna actually just pull off 2 points on the graph and put it just kind of almost like I had with the table. So I need to find 2 points so I can get the change in y, the change of x. So this one, it looks like my main points are my intercepts. We always run before we fly or dive. So right here, this point would be positive 5 for the x. It's on the x number line, 5. Whereas it does not go up or down, so 0 on the y. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and find this ordered pair. It does not go left or right, it is not on the x. It's not in the x direction at all. So I know that I have 0 for my x. It did not run, but it did dive straight down. So meaning it's at negative 4 on the y. Okay, I have my 2 ordered pairs. Again, I need to have my y's over my x's. We need to subtract our y's, subtract our x's. This is where it can be kind of tricky. So I have 0, and I said I need to subtract them, minus negative 4. So I still need to make sure I drop in my subtraction even though that negative 4 is there. And then we have 5 minus 0. Okay, we can use our calculator, or if you know your integer rules, I'm gonna go 0 minus, with this calculator you have to put the 4 and then the negative, minus -4 equals +4. When we minus a negative, it becomes a positive. You can use your calculator, or if you know your integer rules. 5 minus 0 is 5. The slope, or the rate of change on this one, is 4/5. So also you can think about it as going up 4, rising 4, running 5. Okay, last one. This one, we have to make sure we're really paying attention to the scale, because like when I look right here, the gallons, they're going up by thousands, like 2,000, 4,000, 6,000, whereas the hours are going by ones. But other than that, everything stays exactly the same. We want 2 ordered pairs, X and Y, and we're gonna subtract our Y's, subtract our X's. So I wanna pick any 2 points on the graph. I'm just gonna pick these 2 because that's what I decided to do. Here on the x-axis, for x, I am running 1, going 1 on the x, whereas on the y, we're at 8,000. So when x is 1, y is 8,000. All right, I'm gonna pick one more point, and, well, you guys, here, I'll do this one. Let's make it easier. So I have a definite x and y. When x is 3, y is 6,000. Okay, we got our 2 points. We have our data collected. I need to subtract my y's, subtract my x's. Y over x. So we have 8,000 minus 6,000. And we have 3 minus 1. Let's just go ahead and solve this out mental math. So 8 minus 6 is 2, and we're gonna keep the 1,000. 3 minus 1 is 2. Okay, now I just need to simplify because both the top and bottom are even, so I can actually divide that out. Half of 2,000, or 2,000 divided by 2, is 1,000. So my rate, my slope is 1,000. Particularly in this situation, it is 1,000 gallons per hour, per x. It's always y per x. 1,000 gallons per hour. And that should do it. So again, just kind of a quick recap. Make sure you are getting 2 points on a table or a graph. You subtract your y's, subtract your x's, and simplify. Subtract your y's, subtract your x's, simplify.